Hey everybody, Billy here. So it's a little bit of a different video today. We usually post prepping haul videos on Fridays, and we are having a prepping haul video today, but it's a little different than most. I'm gonna show you later on. It's gonna be delivered today, our firewood. Obviously, we already have our heating oil because we just um, a little ahead of the curve, or we at least try to be a little ahead of the curve most of the time, because that's what prepping is all about, being ahead of the curve, so you don't get caught with your pants down. And I want to talk to you all about a little something that I was discussing with Mrs. D, in fact, yesterday and this morning, and it's the fact that folks are not being mindful of how important it is to be preparing, how important it is to own your property. Um, a lot of people do 30, 40-year loan mortgages, basically because, well, it's a comfortable payment. And I can understand that. It's comfortable. But here's my thing. You will never own that property. Never. Never. Because by the time that you already pay off that property, you're going to be old, decrepit, and probably going to pass away. That is the sad reality of it. And you're going to have to work until you fall apart because you will not be able to afford that 30, 40-year mortgage loan that you got. Because guess what? The banks, if you don't know this, what they do is you pay interest first and then the principal. That's how they get you. I mean, I would do the same if I was a bank. I want to get my earnings before you pay the loan. I'm sorry, and it's really early, so there's a lot of mosquitoes around. And I do have my thermocell, for those of you who are going to ask. This little thing works, but there's always one that comes in here and there. But there are other ways, going back to the whole owning your property, other ways to get everything, in your hand. You can always send payments to the principal, not just to your monthly payment, but just directly to the principal. That lowers that principal, which is the money that you owe. That way, you creep down from those 30 years to, I don't know, less than 30 years. And as you pay more into your principal, well, guess what? You owe less. Now, you can do that. Send as much as you can to the principal to knock down that debt. Because let me tell you something, and banks usually don't do this, but they can call your loan. They can say, I need my money. I need my money right now. And what are you going to do? If you can't pay, well, guess what? Well, that property is not yours. It's the bank. So they can come and take it. Now, don't quote me on it. All states are different. And I haven't heard banks doing this, but just keep that in mind. The other thing is getting different loans, personal loans. Often they come with a little higher interest depending on your credit score. Well, those are usually 10, 15 years. You may say, well, Billy, but I can get the other one and it's lower and I can send more to the principal. And I say, yeah, sure, absolutely, if you have the discipline. But do you? Because most people don't have the discipline. Most people go in with the credit card and just swipe and swipe and swipe because they do not see the dollars leaving their hands. Therefore, they do not have a concept of that money leaving their bank accounts. And they're in their mindsets. Most of folks are, I paid little by little. Big mistake. Because then you're going to have to pay double. If you spend $100 on a credit card, if you don't pay that $100 like that, you will pay $200. Guarantee. Nonetheless, you can get those other loans, personal loans. Be disciplined about it. Pay as much as you can. Pay it out. The other thing is, folks, Not everybody is meant to own a property. There are people that they don't know what to do. They don't know how to fix a sink. They don't know how to build. They don't know anything. Therefore, they have to pay somebody like me. Hey, Billy, can you come and install the sink? Sure, $300. That's a lot of money, Billy. Then you do it because I set my own prices. Well, I'll pay you. Thank you. You see what I mean? Now, people like me don't like paying for work unless that I don't have the equipment. But think about that too. If you don't know how to do something, take care of things, you have no business of owning a home unless you have money coming out of your eyeballs. Then this video is not for you. Obviously, you can learn. You can go into YouTube. There's a lot of great videos up there. A lot of people have learned from YouTube. Unfortunately, I learned from my grandpa, from my dad, from my family members who are very harsh teachers. Usually involves smack in the back of the head. You did it wrong. Do it again. So, yeah. The other option that I'm going to recommend everybody to do, and this is my recommendation, of course, you do with your life whatever you want. It's your life, it's not mine. Save as much as you can. Save as much as you can and try, at least at a minimum, to give a hefty down payment in a property. Hefty. Don't go in a property that it costs $200,000 and give $2,000. That is absolutely nothing. If you don't have at least 20 grand for that $200,000 property, walk away, man. Walk away. Here's the other thing too. You don't need to get a property that it costs that much money. My property cost me $69,000. $69,000. This is a 2.5 acre parcel. You guys see how much I have put into it. But this was a foreclosure. It didn't have a heating source. It needed work. But the bones were good. And I told Mrs. D, I can do all of this. But that is a really good price. And you can do that too. You can look for those deals. Now, granted, I'm going to tell you something too. You're not going to have all the amenities that you're used to, like washing machine. We don't have a washing machine, a conventional washing machine. We don't have a dryer. We air dry our clothes. That's what we do. We have a composting toilet because I don't want to rely on the septic. We do have a septic, but I don't want to rely on it. I'm building an outhouse. In fact, that right there is one of the walls for the outhouse. I already did the base, if you will. So you see what I'm saying? But I was very comfortable because we got this as a personal loan. And I think we gave half up front. And Mrs. D was like, oh, let's just be comfortable. And I said, okay, well, keep in mind, I want to finish it off. But my payment was $300 a month. I was very comfortable. But again, I told Mrs. D, sweetie, let's knock it down. Let's knock it down. I don't want to have debt. I want to own our property because this is it's going to be passed on to DAS. And I want to have that deed in my hand. So that's what we did. Every month. We don't go out to eat. We occasionally will go out and have Chinese, but we really didn't do anything out of the extraordinary. Nothing that it was not absolutely necessary. And the things that we have, like ATVs, Argos, trailers, and all of that stuff, we put that money aside. We put it aside because we were like, all right, so this is how much we're going to be sending every single month. And we stick to the plan, by the way, to the house to pay the property. All right, so overtime, extra stuff, let's put it in this little pile right here. And we save and we save and we save. But again, we didn't spend money in movie theaters. We haven't gone to the movie theaters in years now. We don't have fancy cars. We don't go on vacations. We really don't. We go once a year to Valdez, and that trip pays for the entire the fish pay for the entire trip. So, and we bring extra to give to other folks as well. So keep that in mind. Everything that we do has to be with a purpose. When we do something, we see our investment coming back equal or more. So bear that in mind. And once you own your property, there's no greater feeling in the world. That will be your biggest prep. But if you don't own it, you essentially have nothing. Because if you lose your job, then you're gonna be in a world hurt. If God willing never happens, you pass away, then what are you gonna leave behind? I mean, for your significant other, for your kids, all you're gonna have is a big debt. You're not gonna have a property because you don't own the property. So keep that in mind. I want to bring awareness to this. You do not need a $200,000-$300,000 property to live. Let's round it up. I live in a $70,000 property with a cabin, shed that I'm fixing to upgrade. Well, it has been upgraded inside, but I'm fixing to build more into it. I'm building an outhouse. Beautiful garden over there. You guys have seen what I have done. And I'm very happy. And I'm very happy because it is ours. And I know that if something does happen to me, Mrs. D will not have a problem. And when we are gone, last we inherit something that it will be for him and his children's. So just want to share that with you. I'm gonna let you guys go. I am waiting for my wood guy to come in today. He will be delivering me a core of wood, spruce that didn't have birch. Gotta take whatever I can. I want to be ready for winter. I'm gonna finish doing the outhouse today. I will give you a tour once everything is done, but it's really hard to film and have Lass with me and taking care of Lass and doing everything. So I want to be safe. So I will give you a tour and I will describe you everything that I did afterwards. So with that being said, hope you have a great one. Like I always rock on, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye, everybody.